Hey, Tracy. You know, Ari's coming on this live. Yeah, so we're gearing up for Girl Talk next Sunday. Hope you can make it. It's going to be a good time at Ink Therapy Studio. Ari is in the building. Let me send you an invite, Ari. I remember how to do this. There we go.
Flip it. There you go. There you
Hello.
go.
Hey. You made it.
Yes, girl, I made it.
How are you?
I'm good. I can't complain. Let me drop this down a little lower so I can get this together.
Can you see me? Last time we did this, you couldn't see me. That was crazy.
I still can't see you. That's okay.
This is crazy.
I don't know why. I think it's because I'm using my forward camera. You think it's that?
What's the forward camera, girl?
Like I'm using like the camera that is like on your ear instead of the other one?
Probably. I'm not even hip.
That's okay.
Do you want to switch it, or do you want to just move forward?
We can move forward. I'm not picking. I can hear you.
Okay.
There you go.
That's when you know you're a professional. You're able to do a whole interview without seeing the person.
Mm-hmm.
Did you rest yesterday?
I made it.
Did you get some rest?
Yes, I ended up going to the Euclid Creek, and then I walked up and down, so I was happy about that. But yes, girl, I've been ever since I picked up that nursing contract, it's like my week doesn't really start until Tuesday night, Wednesday, once I teach, because I try to sleep all of Tuesday before I teach, and then I go boxing at 5, and then I teach at 6 and charge up right after, and then it's like the week goes by so quick. And I thought about it. I'm like, oh my God, my son lost his phone. I was like, I have no way to go to live. But here we are.
And so your schedule is the very reason you're being featured on our upcoming discussion on doing it all.
Yes, girl.
So we'll kick it off and get started. For those of you who don't know, my name is Nicole D. Miller. I'm an author, blogger, writer, and speaker. I host a quarterly panel discussion called Girl Talk. We meet the last Sunday of every month. This time, I think it's the 4th Sunday. And we tackle some heavy-hitting topics, usually featuring 4 to 6 other female leaders who are impacting their community. So we're excited to have Ari Baker rejoin us. She is no stranger to the Girl Talk panel discussion. Ari, you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Ariel Baker. Everyone calls me Ari. I consider myself a nurse fitness instructor. I have my master's in nursing education. I've been a nurse for about 10 years. My primary specialty in hospice, palliative care, oncology, hematology, some cardiac ICU, and some cardiac step down. I teach a class located in Cleveland, Ohio. A step class. I'm a step fitness instructor. I also consider myself a wellness coach. I like to take the holistic approach when it comes to preventing chronic illness in the lower social economic communities. So, and then I'm also a mom of a cool kid with autism, and I do a little bit of everything.
Yes, Ari is definitely an inspiration. She wears a lot of hats. You guys probably see a lot of my videos. I'm at her classes Tuesday night, 6 o'clock at the Vaults.
Mhm.
So Ari, you are doing amazing things. For those who are kind of aspiring to be where you are, get to that level, like, can you give us a backstory on how you got started? Like, how did you end up where you are now?
That's a good question. That's a loaded question. How did I get where I am now? Really, I was just placed in this position. A lot of things that I planned for in my life, I did not accomplish, and a lot of things that I'm accomplishing now, I did not foresee. So,
Right.
um, just to give a little bit of a background, I maintained my bachelor's of nursing at Ursuline College. I got my master's degree at Chamberlain College. I practiced nursing for a few years, fell in love with hospice nursing. Um, to backtrack a little bit, I've always been an athlete. I ran track in high school and some in college. And that led me back to my fitness journey. I started going to a gym called Naturally Gifted that is now called The What. It's owned by Philly Whedon. I started stepping just because I like to step, and I was blessed with the opportunity to become an instructor. Never wanted to be an instructor. Never said, "Oh, I need to teach. I need to show other people." Didn't want to do it, but it was placed in my hands, and I've been an instructor for approaching 4 years now. And it's been a journey. It's been a challenge, but it's been also very rewarding. And of course, my son, I had my son when I was 20 and found out he had autism when he was 2 years old. So it's just been, I keep going to school. I'm addicted to learning. I love education. I love being placed in new situations that call me to show up for people. And I'm a great instructor. I'm a great educator. I love, love, love teaching. That's really my sole purpose, is educating across the board, whether it's fitness, whether it's wellness, whether it's nursing, whether it's advocating for autism. I just like to educate. So that's what I primarily do. And that's how, I don't even know how I got here, just because God wanted me exactly where I'm at. I'm exactly where I need to be.
Exactly. And I think because you say yes, right?
Yeah.
So God gives us the call, and not everybody says yes, and you answered the call. I feel
Mhm.
like I have a similar experience because my background is not in writing, it's not in being a creative. I'm totally out of my comfort zone. But saying yes to purpose is kind of, it opens these doors that you don't even realize you're going to end up walking in. So I think a lot of people who are kind of like, how did they get there? How are they doing that? It's like saying yes to the very first thing that's coming, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you never
yeah.
know what's gonna lead.
And sometimes saying
So
yes is very scary. Yes is very scary sometimes. Because self-sabotage is real, or just not being able to see the talent that you have that everybody else can see. You know what I mean?
yeah,
When people are like, "You'll be a great instructor," I said, "What?
yeah,
Not me. I don't want to do it. Don't put me in a
yeah.
position. I don't want to be in management. Don't put me in a position to where I can influence people on that scale." But when it kept happening, people kept asking me, and then one day it just kind of fell in my lap to where I had helped someone teach a class, and they was like, "Okay, we're gonna make you an instructor." I didn't even seek it out. Didn't have to pay for it or anything. So when God wants you to do something, sometimes it has nothing to do with you. It just falls in your lap because that's exactly what you're supposed to be doing and where you need to be.
And I definitely agree that others can see it in you before you see it in yourself. I was just telling a young woman today, I had 2 books published, never saw myself as an author, never saw myself as a publisher. Like, you're walking in it, but you don't see it. And that fear is real. And I feel like I had to get to the point where it's like, just do it scared. Like, I
Yeah.
was scared to go on live. So I started making myself go on IG Live every week, every Wednesday. Because I hate it, because I'd be scared. But it's like, just do it. Just do it scared.
Just do it. And it's good to prepare yourself for fear, because a lot of times when you're called to be successful, you're going to be in uncomfortable situations. You're going to have to speak in large groups of people. You're going to have to talk to people in rooms who may be more educated and more experienced than you, and you just have to get it out the way. It's almost it's not beneficial for you to hold it off when it's inevitable anyways.
That, that is agree. I agree. I agree 100%. So the next question I ask is, what is your primary motivator for what you do?
Well, my son is my primary motivator. I think about it all the time. He keeps me going. He keeps me accountable. He keeps me organized. Um, because I don't have the privilege to be lazy with him. Because he does have special needs, extra accommodations that I need to look at. I stay focused because of him. It's a lot of times where I'm exhausted and I want to give up, but my son is constantly watching me. So he's my primary motivator. And then a lot of people, like even strangers. I ran across the meme the other day that say like your strangers will support you more than your family. A lot of times, it seems like clockwork. All the times where I'm ready to give up, or I need to take a break, or I'm thinking about quitting something, someone out of nowhere comes on my IG or my Facebook, or I run into them at the restaurant or at a mall, and they're like, I just want you to keep going. I see what you're doing. You're really great. You inspire me. And then you're like, I can't give up. How there are people counting on you that you don't even know exist.
Wow,
So you have to keep going.
that's deep. It does remind me of the scripture where Jesus talks about a prophet is not accepted in his hometown.
Girl.
You know, so see that he was rejected in his hometown, but accepted other places.
Mhm.
So
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I can definitely resonate.
Yep.
We kind of touched on this a little bit when you talked about being successful. So how do you define success, and do you feel successful?
How do you define success? That's a good question. Well, how I define success is, are the people in your life and do you feel full? I know a lot of people who are wealthy, have a lot of things, and they are depressed. They are constantly seeking, pats on the back and verbal, cheers and praises because they just can't find themselves a space to be happy. They feel empty. So do you feel full of whatever you're doing? Do you feel accomplished in whatever you're doing? I mean, even if you're making a lot of money, do you feel like you're paying it forward? And that's why, like, with being a nurse, one thing I can say about being a nurse, even though it's very challenging, very tiresome, I feel full with it because I know I'm doing something. I can leave my shift at night, well, during the day, because I work nights, knowing that I've done something to impact somebody else. So that's how I measure success. It can't be just doing a whole bunch of things for naught, just to say that you accomplished it. Do I feel successful? I do feel successful. I feel like I'm working on it. I have a little bit of an issue with checking things off a list and not really basking in the things that I'm successful in.
Yeah.
Like, example, when I got my master's, I didn't really be like, oh, I feel so good I have my master's. The next thing I thought of, oh, I need a PhD. Or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to go to Ebony Fit. As soon as I went to Ebony Fit, oh, I need to go here. You know what I'm saying? So we're not careful, we'll sabotage ourselves. But I think I am very, very successful, but I'm not content where I'm at. It's still things that I want to accomplish, places I want to go, people I want to meet, spaces I want to be in that I feel like I deserve to be in.
I think you definitely touched on a few things that we can't define success by external things. We know that we can't be fulfilled by money or clothes or a partner. These things are passing away. And it sounds like you're defining success by the impact you're having on others' lives, right? Whether it is educating them or healing them or encouraging them. Another thing that you talked about is this desire to achieve, which I totally relate to. Have you ever taken a Myers-Briggs personality assessment test or another kind of personality assessment?
I have, and I'm trying to remember. I have taken it. I've taken it so many times, and I can't remember what personality I have. But because I'm not, I'm not type A. I'm very flow, but then not at the same time. It's crazy. It's very weird. I need to take it again, but I took it. I took it when I was a baby nurse because it shows you what type of nurse you're going to be too, like how you're going to run your practice and everything like that. And I took it like 2 years ago, but I can't remember. But I think I need to. But yeah.
Well, it made me think of the one that is the Myers-Briggs, and I remember I scored as an achiever, which I think that you would identify with. And what I realized about myself is I'm always on to the next thing. It's like, okay, I did this, I want to do this. I did this, I want to do this. And similar to you, I'm not like basking in what I've accomplished. And I wrote a blog about it that I didn't feel successful. I struggle feeling successful. Like I will feel accomplished. Like I've done things and I believe it's purposeful and I believe it's eternally purposeful. But because my definition of success is, well, I haven't done this, I haven't done this, I haven't done this, kind of similar to what you were saying, that it keeps me from like fully feeling it. But I think that's a part of being this achiever where we are goal oriented, which is great. And we see the big picture. Other people are like, but you did this. But we're like, but I'm supposed to be here.
Yes, yes, that's exactly what it is. And if it wasn't for friends in my life, like I have a friend, her name is Move with D. She was like I took a big step 3 years ago to leave an organization, and we were talking about everything I've done since then. She was like, and look where you're at now. Look how much you've done. And I went back and I looked at all my videos since I left till now, the places I've traveled to, the events I've done, the people I've met, and I was like, oh my God, like I really have done a lot, but it's always just me saying, and me having to get out of the spirit of comparing my success to somebody else's.
Right.
Well, they did this and they had that, so I need, and I will say this year I stopped doing that and I'm like flourishing. I'm not, it's like as soon as you let go of that, that idea of what you're supposed to be having, instead of just focusing on one thing at a time and just being very present and grateful in the moment, man, I'm telling you, things will really shift. I didn't say I stopped caring, because I do care. And sometimes I get a little anxiety about the success of my classes and me progressing as a nurse. But I just always am very much intentional with saying, His will be done. And just leave it alone. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, there's nothing else I can do except be consistent and show up. That's all. That's all I can do.
I 100% agree. Comparing ourselves to others is always a trap. I feel like the word God gave me was to compare myself with my former self, right? Mm-hmm. So as long as there's growth, and we need to celebrate that growth, that's the healthy place to be. So the next question is, what are you working on right now? What do you have?
Oh, girl, I'm very excited. Okay. Right now, I haven't talked about it, but I am launching my own STEP certification. I'm going to release it in the fall. I did my manual. I had someone write it up for me. I just have to, fine tune a couple of things. So yes, I do have a certification coming. Can't wait for that. I am traveling to Atlanta. I'm headlining an event called Step Jamboree that's coming up in July. I am doing another event that's coming up. Woo! Yeah, I'm doing another event that's going to be in Brooklyn, New York. Wow. In August, I'm very excited about. It's going to be a color party, a step color party. So I'm like, what if I take the step color party on the road? Sure. That's how I feel right now. I think it's going to be themed. So I'm doing that.
Was lit.
I know. I'm so excited about the next one. It's going to be so fun.
I know. I already posted it. I was like, I'm just going to have to be okay with whatever video surface after this liquor and step is combined.
It's going to be good. It's going to be fun. We got to step first, get it out the way, and then do what we did the last time. And yes. Yep. And then my step party is coming up again in July, and just continuously growing my class and my brand, and just staying very intentional and very conscious of what I'm doing, especially with health and wellness. I do get invited to a lot of speaking engagements in relation to health and wellness. So I would like to see my brand expand in relation to that as well. Like, I'm a great stepper, but I do have much more to offer than just, instructing. As far as step is concerned, I really care about my people and preventative care, holistic care. And I am working on my certification for becoming a deaf doula. So yes, that is my other one.
Wow. And you talking about the speaking reminds me, when we were going over the last Girl Talk footage, your gems that you were sharing was getting the most views. Oh. So you were one of our best speakers for engagement. So just to affirm you in that,
thank you.
Doing more speaking.
Thank you.
So on that note, what are you looking forward to most about our upcoming Girl Talk Doing It All?
I'm so excited to meet all the girls on the panel. I know Butter, but I don't know any of the other girls. So that would be, I love to fellowship and meet other women, especially the last Girl Talk. I really learned a lot. I really felt like everyone had their own niche. And I was thinking to myself, like, I was listening to them and I was gaining a lot of information. I was like, this is excellent. to be able to talk to women who are more knowledgeable than me in certain things. Because you ever get into a room and you know that you're the one who knows mostly everything, and it's not fulfilling. Like, I enjoy being around women who are more experienced than me, more versed than me, because I want to get to that level. So I'm looking forward to that as well with this new panel of ladies. I'm very excited.
And the interesting thing is I feel the same way, so I intentionally chose people that I can learn from, because for me, people say, oh, you do a lot. I don't feel like I do I do a lot, but I don't feel like I'm doing it all, because I'm not wearing the hat of a mother. I'm not wearing the hat of a wife. So for me, it's like, well, I do this because I don't have kids. I don't know how these people are out here doing all this with these kids.
Don't do that
So
to yourself. Don't do that. I mean, you still do a lot. Hats are hats, even if they look different. You know what I'm trying to say? A hat is a hat.
It's I want to honor the people that I see that are really walking in this greater level of capacity, and I want to learn from that. So for me, I don't feel like I'll be engaging as much. I'll throw out my 2 cents, but I'm really looking to learn myself. So
well, it's a challenge, girl. It's a challenge, child. It sure is. I can't wait for the conversation. I cannot wait. It's gonna be good.
So the last question is, what is doing it all to you?
Well, doing it all is pursuing all your aspirations gracefully. It doesn't mean pursuing them in perfection or always in an organized sense. It's just continuing the flow of movement. When I wake up, my priority is my son. Some days I feel like the best mother on the planet. Other days I don't. Sometimes on the weekends, because I work on the weekends, I feel like I'm super nurse. Other nights I feel like I'm just doing what I can, But you're going to have days like that where you don't feel like you're 100%, but you can still be able to tap into everything as best you can. So wearing all your hats is just continuously going, not giving up, taking a break when you need to, because there's no shame in taking a break or taking a breather or pouring into yourself and doing self-care. But just maintaining a consistency when it comes to your aspirations and not letting anybody distract you in that.
Awesome. All the gems and the jewels from Ari Baker. So you guys, if you want to hear more and join the conversation, please tap in. We'll be meeting next Sunday at Ink Therapy Studio from 6 to 9, June 23rd. We have drinks, we have food, we have networking, we have raffles. It's always a good time. It really is about sisterhood, edifying each other, and just coming into a safe space for female leaders. There's so many things that we're doing and pouring out, but we don't get poured into. So this is that space for us. Did you have anything you wanted to share, Ari?
No, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I will see you Tuesday, probably.
Thank you, baby.
Have a good one.
You
Bye.
too.